Okay, I'll give you a clue. Pratyaksha, have you heard? Huh? Pratyaksha. Suppose somebody were to touch you from behind. Is it Pratyaksha? No?
Five senses.
Five senses. You understand? So any of the five senses fetch you Pratyaksha. So you are all able to hear me. Is the sound Pratyaksha or not? Yes. Right? So this is what? So this Aksha is Indriya. Okay? There are five sense organs. So any knowledge that is gained through these five sense organs you call as Pratyaksha. Okay? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Okay? Gandha is Pratyaksha for this. Shabda is Pratyaksha for this. So Aksha means five. Now, Ku. Ku once again means Prithvi. That is why we have the word Kuja. Have you heard? Kuja means Mars. Ku. Ku has other various meanings. Ku means Prithvi also. Now this Bhu, Bana, Aksha, Kubhi. Bana is again 5. Why 5? Is the question that I asked my father when I started studying these texts. So he said that Manmatha is called Panchabana. Then I asked him why he is called Panchabana. So then my father said, so if he shoots arrow, all the five senses will be lost. Okay? So therefore he is called Panchabana. So you will lose all your five senses if Manmatha shoots arrow. Then he further said, my father sometimes makes some jokes. He further said, that is why people call 5-star hotel. See, you can easily get lost. Okay, all the five can be simultaneously satisfied. Okay, so that is what it is. In fact, I don't know whether we are discussing Shabdadibhi Panchabhedeva Pancha. So morning, so he was driving me, Suresh, so we just. Okay, so this Bana is that 1551 is the year. Then he says all other equations have to be satisfied, you have to find the day. Okay, that turns out to be April 25, 1629. Okay. That's how it is. So they present some interesting puzzles like this. So in astronomical works, astrological works, various other things. Okay, this is just, yes, you have some question?
Quick question. So is there a practical application to all of those verses, or was that just intellectual curiosity?
This is just so making you little sound in your computation. Okay. See, after all, what we have to understand is all of us know who have migrated here that it is essentially the training that we give to the mind that is required in a certain environment, irrespective of what you do, whether you are to do mechanical or electrical or whatever it is. So similarly, here what we find is there is something which is very interesting, I would say. In fact, maybe 5 years ago, I don't remember, once I came to US, then I also went to Seattle. Seattle, so somebody was saying that I want you to address the college students, sorry, not college students, school students and school teachers of mathematics on how this Indian mathematics was somewhat different. So, and how they have been able to, and the reason why he said was, he was just saying this. So, Indian students are doing well in mathematics, whereas our students are not doing well. So, there is something about it, so you have to tell me. So, what it is. Then he also said this, he said that here the students find word problems very difficult. So, then I asked him, what is word problem? I didn't know that. Then he told me a problem narrated in words. Okay. So they are not able to comprehend quickly and then write the equation and then solve it. They find it difficult, is what he told me. Then I looked at the book and then I just gave some lecture. So this is all that. See, it is a certain training that you give to the mind to attentively listen something and formulate it in your own mind. If you can get this ability, then I think you will be able to excel in various other things. It is essentially the capacity to do something is what we gain by solving problems. Not that this problem will be useful elsewhere. See, I had done several control systems, all that useless engineering. Okay, various things we did. So most of the things that we did, you find that I would have studied, say, Suresh may say I would have studied Vivek Chudamani happily. So ultimately these are the things which seem to be presenting us a certain sense of satisfaction at a later stage in life. But these are essential for us to deal with various other things also in life. So it is that training that is how some of them are like this. Okay? Some verses are like this only. After all, most of the mathematics that we do is all to just give time. But for this addition subtraction, even for that we don't need nowadays every calculator. See, in those days at least they needed skills in quickly calculating. I remember one vegetable vendor 50 years ago when I was going to the market, etc. That fellow was so amazing. Some 7-8 people will be purchasing 8-10 items. So one fellow 300 grams, one fellow some other grams. He will just tell the total. Okay. So this is the amount you have to pay. I don't know how he keeps track of the attention. It was really amazing. So that is essentially the training that. Okay. Now coming back to this, see, I was mentioning to you that you can even calculate time, etc. very easily, right? So this is the device. So you just put a stick, draw a circle, and based on where the shadow is, you will be able to precisely tell. This is what is called local time. See, local time means sidereal time. Local time. See, today we have different zones in America. See, there is some east zone, there is some other zone, there is some other zone. You have at least three zones or 4 zones? Four zones. Now, actually, in each of the zone, see, so the time will be exact only for one fellow, only for one longitude. The others will be plus minus. You understand? So, since you don't want the difference to be too much, you just do that. What here we get is that local time. Okay, this experiment will give you precisely that. So all that you need to know is the zenith distance, where the sun is. Okay, in this formula, this phi is the latitude of the place, delta is the declination of the sun. That can be, and delta alpha will essentially be a function of phi and delta. So if you know the zenith distance of the sun, zenith distance means from where it is. So zenith is the topmost point. Separation of the sun from the zenith, if you know, then you will be able to precisely get. So this is a verse which gives you this formula, but I just put it in modern notation. So this is a very simple device with which you can do this. Okay, I don't think this kind of a formulation is there in any other civilization. That is what I wanted to tell you. Okay, they have had various other things. Chinese had some clocks, etc. But then theoretically, putting all this into a verse and then giving you this formula, this is something which is so remarkable about. See, that's what I meant by grandeur of Indian astronomy. Okay. So these are some other formulae. How do you get the longitude of the sun? You have sine inverse function and so on. So you get this declination. And many of you would have heard of this notion of Lagna, Muhurta and so on. So all of them are certain durations of time. Okay. So which you have to compute at a given location. So this is a passage which I wanted to show you just to tell you. So the understanding that they had about the very nature of science. See, that is the reason for this. So you see the line goes like this. See, those of you who know Sanskrit may be easily appreciating this. Yatha nishi paryatatam pradipadibihi swasamipagataha pradeshaha yavadapeksham drisyaha evam sarvairapi swaswasamipabhavah kalaha yavadapeksham anumeyaha evam tithyadigam samyak anubhuya kalam yapai. So he is just describing the very nature. Yatha, tatha means as it is so. Okay, yatha tatha. So he gives a simile, like I was telling you, as the fellow going in the boat. Similarly, he says, some fellow, assume that he is carrying a lamp with him. Okay. Now, the lamp can shed light only to a certain periphery around you. So, with the lamp, you will be able to know what is in your vicinity to the extent it can throw light. So, the example is for this. Yatha Nishi. Nishi means in the night. Paryatata means the fellow who is moving. Swasamipagataha pradeshaha. Pradesha is location. So Samipagata means something which is within the domain of the spread of the light. Yavadapeksham drishyaha. So that is what will be evident to him. Similarly, he says, Evam sarvairapi at any point of time. So Samipa bhavaha kalaha yavadapeksham anumeyaha. So you will not be able to make prediction for all times. So Samipa bhavah kalaha. So this is all we all know. The weather prediction they cannot say what will happen on September 28th. You understand? So you do. There are various limitations to various phenomena. So this is a much larger understanding that he has presented, which means the tools that I have given will be able to help you to compute only up to this particular point of time. After that, you may have to revise the parameter and then you can take it forward. So this is a very, very important statement which I found in the commentary, which gives us a, and he also says, Paraspara dosh, na doshaya. Different people, therefore, giving different parameters. It doesn't mean that this fellow was wrong or that fellow was wrong. Okay.